Hey everybody, let's go to today's CSS battle. The daily target for today is. I don't even know what that is. Look at that. That's great. Okay, what do we got? Um, I guess it's kind of a abstract number 600 with one with a tail. It's pretty cool. All right, I think that what we're gonna do here is utilized. It's going to be three elements, and the question is exactly what those look like. I think that it's our overall shape is this rounded rectangle, right? This oval. So let's do that. Rectangle. I mean, oval implies circular all around, and that's it. It's not. It's got these flat sides. So let's do the flat sides first, which means we're going to be width. And I believe we're looking at a border, I think. So let's do that. 30 pixels, let's say, solid, and then that color. And we're gonna leave the margins on the body, and we need to, of course, we need to undo this. And we're probably going to be using something like a clip path to cut out some of this. So let's see what we need to do here. Definitely a fun shape, for sure, a fun shape. Okay, let's get to it. So I'm going to use margins to move this into place. That's a good start. 30, great. This, I think we're in the right. I think 30 pixels is correct in terms of the width of the border, but we're not tall enough to. So this is element number 1, right? And then we're going to have an element B and an element C. So let's do a border radius. 40 pixels. Start there. And let's actually use Q units because, you know, that's fun. 40, 50, 60, 61, 2, 3. Oh, no, no, no. Let's go with pixels. 60 pixels. 70 pixels? No. What have we got going on here? 75 pixels. 80 pixels. 90 pixels. It's not getting it done, is it? Okay. So what have we got? So the roundness of the is not not happening the way I wish it would. So what do we got to do? I mean, I can go. If I beef it up to 150, like, do I get something different? Looks like no. There's an awful closeness to it, though. Okay, so if the height is 120, and our width is, could our width be wrong? Could it be something like 60? I don't think so. Oh, there it is. So I had the width wrong. One of the perils. So let's go back in and look at our border radius and do Q values. 60, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's more what I was thinking. And then the question is whether we actually whether I've gone down the wrong path. So I'm gonna separate out the border color. We're gonna do that color, and then what happens if we do 2 colors? Border, I've misspelled border color. Okay, so what happens if we vary these colors? can we get this? Maybe. So for the red, we want green. Yellow, we want green as well. And that actually gets us our shape. So you think, Joe, why are you doing it like this? I think because it's helpful, but I might be completely wrong. All right, so what's going on with the background? Background, radial gradient. And it's a circle. And it's transparent in the middle. And it's probably 30 pixels. And then it's green. 45 pixels, something like that. And then transparent again. And we need an at 50%, 50 pixels. 6, 7, 8, 9. And then different width. Maybe it's 60. Oh, how delightful. So, yeah, well, not what we wanted, right? Our border's obscuring what what I thought we were doing. So let's, rather than do border, we do this, which means we need to increase the width more, probably by 30 and 30, so it's 120. And this needs to be added by 60 as well, so that's 180. Okay. And then let's put another color in the background so we can see exactly what shape we've done here. So that's our shape. All right, fine. It becomes a little clearer now exactly what we've got going on. Okay, so we're going to do our at is going to be lower, 100, 110, 20. Great. So then what do we need next? So this tail is the hard part. And the middle one has to come last. So let's do margins for the second one. So B is our next one. And we want to put it right here. And then we'll deal with the tail last, I guess. And I'm going to do all 4 margin numbers so that I can use the margins reliably to move these around. So the first number, which is the top, will be negative. And I need to make sure that I actually include the B. We go upwards. We go upwards. Minus 2, 1, 9, 1, 8, 175, 185, 195. There we go. And then this final number, we move that number, then we can move it into place. 1, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200. Oh, probably another 4, 5, 6. There it is. Okay. And a reminder, this is the actual shape for each one of these. Okay. So then PC has got the opposite values, or different values. Okay, so the margins for that one, and we'll go ahead and put that red on there. No, okay, so let's variabilize the internals here. So this has got to be bar dash A or transparent, and then bar dash B or that green. So the C item dash A is going to be the internal green, and dash B will be the pink. And we can't see it yet. there it is. You can't see it. But yeah, there's the top of it. So now we can move the margins. Margin minus 100. 0, 0, 50. And then with our margins, we move it up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 100. 100, 100, 100, something like that. All right, so what are our numbers? Yeah, okay, so we're right in place. Okay, background, we're putting the background back on the body. Okay. Margin, we'll do bar dash dash m. And we won't have a default. Oh, look at that. Dash dash m. And then dash dash m. And our numbers are off. So we must have zeroed out our margins. So that has screwed around with all of our things. So let's do that. Yes, it's all ruined because we removed our margin on the body. That had an effect on all of the children elements, which are these three guys. So we will alter our numbers to put these into place. 10, 20, 30, 32, and then downward 20, 30, 30, there it is, 30. So now we're where we want to be for the first one. Now we need to alter our numbers to get the second one. We're too high. So this number needs to be lower, not 8, 7, 81, 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. And then that number should be 180, something like that. And then this one is a little different even more. This number needs to go up. 110, 20, 30, 32. There it is. All right. So now we have margins on only the paragraph elements. We don't have anything on the body. We don't need it. But we need to figure out how do we get this tail. Do we even need a border radius? Not really. But we need the little tail and the circle at the top. So I think it's going to be radial gradient. Yeah, radial gradient. Yeah. So the problem is it's going to apply to all of these elements. So well, we'll deal with that when we deal with it. So radial gradient circle, and it's a quarter of a circle, which means it's at 100%, 100%. But I believe it's still going to be transparent in the middle, and also be 30 pixels, and then green. And now they've all got it. Great. We need, yeah, okay. And then 0. There it is. And we need a transparent external. So 30, 60 pixels, and 0. And now they're all they are in the bottom corner. So let's move it up. 0, 0, so positioning will do it. And so we need to move it on the x-axis by minus 30 pixels, minus 60 pixels, and then up minus 100 pixels, something like that. And yes, I see that it's applying to all of them, 20. All right, so that's that part. Great. Okay, so if we have an element here, we put A on this, we can say var A, or let's say G, or transparent. So now none of them have it, but if we add an A attribute to attach to the first one, then we can do that G and put green in it, and there it is. So now we've only applied it to one of them. Now, we still need to do this linear gradient over here, and I think we can do, so this is, yeah, so let's do linear gradient. From the side, green, or 90 degrees, right? So that's coming in from the left side. Green, 30 pixels, and then transparent, comma. There it is. No problem. Now it says R blob. I don't even know. It's certainly fun. But if we limit the size of it, we say it's, if we only repeat on the x-axis and we give it a position and a height, then we got what we need. So we say 0, and then we put it down, probably 30 pixels. Then we give it a height of, we give it a width of 100%, and then a height of 30 pixels. And then we only repeat it on the x-axis. That's how we do that. So let's move it down. 40, 50, and then make it taller. 40, 50, 60. And yes, I see that it's applying to all of them. So we got to do the same thing there, right? We need that same variable for this second gradient. And that's how we do it. There are probably better ways to do this. This was enjoyable. That's the way I chose to do it. You'll note that, so that 600.61, that indicates to me that it's not the best solution, because it's not a very good score. You know, you like to see, I certainly like to see like a 650, a 630, a 670, a 700 is great. Are there simpler solutions? Are there optimizations we can make here? Probably. And then, yeah, so margins, is there a default element? Could you use, you know, box shadows for some of this? Maybe. Could you use more elements and then chip them off? I mean, if you had another element with the borders, and you could use the borders and then have another element that's just a little taller and then cut it off, and that might work. Do we want to try that? Let's minify and unit replace and submit. We'll get a final determination, and then to see if we want to do this a different way. Sometimes I do more than one solution for these. You know, I like doing these. They're fun. Okay, so trimming away at some of the sizes. All right. So that's a 606. That's okay. So let's see what it takes to do all of these. All right. Let's do the border technique. We say width, and you know, I don't commit to memory the size of these guys, right? I just don't. It's probably, you know, kind of goofy, but why learn the precise? So border radius 50%, aspect ratio 1, because I've already forgotten the widths of this. Okay, so we're gonna do, we'll leave the background off. We won't do anything to the body yet. Okay, so it's like 60. And then had I saved, I would know whatever these margins are. Because I think I'm going to use roughly the same margins. 0, 0, 0, 0. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then over 30, 32. Okay. And then the next one, so that's P, and B is going to be the green one on the right-hand side, and then C is going to be yet an additional one, the pink one, and then D is going to be whatever this guy is. So next, margin is what we need to do is var dash M or that. Our border width, so C, we're going to have a background of green, and our color is going to be this C. So this is going to be var dash C, or the green color, and they're all going to need margin. So dash M is going to be there. There's the start of it. That's with a margin of 0, because that's how that's defaulting. Minus 100, 0, 0, 100, 200. Again, margins are moving this into place. 10, 20, 30, 32, 10, 20. There it is. Next, M. We'll put here all zeros, and we need to make sure that we actually include the PC element. There it is. There it is. All right, so what margins do we need to put them into place? We'll do all zeros again. And we need to go upwards, so that's minus 100. Oh, whoops. I wanted this one. That's Gwen. You might be hearing barking. That's Gwen. 20, 30, and then 60, 100, 110, 20, 30, 32. That's the next part. And then D is the tail. What do we need to do to get that tail there? So let's do, we need to move margins, and we need to actually have a D element. There it is. I think the border radius has to be different. Border radius in this case is probably 60 and 30, 120, so 60 pixels, 0, 0. Probably. Let's find out. And then let's do a per margin in. There it is. 0, 0, 0, 0. Move it up. First margin, minus 100. Great. And then we need to increase this left margin. More vertical. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 182. 180. And then this is a 32. There it is. So now we see that we need our body to have background is the pink. So what do we need to do to clip out the parts of this we don't need? Well, we need a clip path. And how little of a clip path can we do? So it's top left corner is 0, 0. I think it's at the middle, so 50% over and 0. I think it goes to directly the middle of the element itself, or the middle bottom, so 50%, 100%. I'm going to regret this. Okay, wait. 50%, 100%. Yeah, we'll start there, and then we're going to go 0, 100%. And I'm missing a comma, so I don't see it. There we go. So if I add up, so it's this is what I've currently got. So 0, 0, 50% 0, and it is at the 50% mark, so that's great. We're going to go down to 50%, 0, and then can I do, or yeah, 50%, 50%. Will that do it? Maybe. Yeah, that looks right. There it is. So that's 4 points. Sort of a uneven quad. It's a four-sided element. Quadrangle. I don't think I have the right word there. Let's submit and see whether we got 100% match. So that's the other way to do this. I'm pleased with that. There's other optimizations I can make here. It's not really any better score at this point, but I've also had minified width 60, and I need margins, I need the background, I need to set the color of the border. Border radius does indeed need to change, and that's fine. I could do like a Q value there. 60, 61, 2, 3. 63Q is slightly shorter. Great. Polygon. Let's minify and unit replace and resubmit. And that's the solution. A second way. 2 ways. Did it 2 ways today, and that's a better score. So 620, that's fine. It's just fine. And that's 4 elements. Once again, that's 4 elements. You can see those 4 elements. It's this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And the reason for the order is because each new element is over top of the prior ones. Each one is in the stacking order, higher, 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 higher. And rather than muck about with z-index, which is always slightly painful to interact with, we just do them in the source order that makes sense for us. And that's it. Certainly a fun one. And it's fun to do things 2 different ways sometimes. I know that I appreciate looking at the problem in 2 different ways, at least, if not 3 or 4, or because they're all worth considering. And a reminder, you can do stuff like drop the the final brace, apparently drop the final comma, but you can't drop the final % mark. So I can resubmit and get a maybe slightly better score. Always seems a little cheap to mangle the code that way, because I wouldn't trust if I paste that into CodePen or some other editor. Like if it didn't work, well, that'd probably be the first thing I'd put back. But in Code Golf, it's really about every character, and this is relatively clean code versus how other folks do these things. Now, can we remove some of the zeros on these margins? We might be able to. Nope, we can't. Not in that one. How about these? Yeah, so that one we can. How about this one? Yeah. And then how about these? Yeah, so we can even shave off a few more characters. Because we got 4 margins around any element. And it's just simplest when interacting with, when getting multiple elements to interact, to do all 4 corners, because sometimes a margin can push the body down and that change your solution, but doing all 4 assures that you know what those values are. And then if they don't have an impact on the overall design, then you can use the abbreviated syntax of not all 4, but having the margins apply top left, top and bottom, and left and right. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hope you're having a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. It's rough out there. It is rough out there, but it's worthwhile to make web pages and make CSS stuff and have fun. Be good. Bye.